My name is Dr. K. Abdul Basith. I am working as a professor of CSC in the Department of CSC, Marri Laxman Institute of Technology and Management. Today, we are going to discuss about selection statements. Program is a set of statements that are normally executed sequentially in the order which they are appear. Normally in C we are using top-down approach. However, sometimes we have a number of situations where we have to change the order. Some of the statements executed based on the condition. So, repeat some of the statements until the specific conditions are met. So, this involves a kind of decision making to solve the problems. So, to acquire this, C supports three types of statements. They are called as control statements, or selection statements, or decision making statements. Among the first one is if statement, second one is switch statement. Switch statement is a multi-selection statement. Multi-selection statement. And third one is go-to statement, which is unconditional statement. Unconditional statement. These statements are popularly known as, again, decision making statements or control statements. So, the first, coming to the if statement. In a if statement, if you consider the syntax of if, which is if test expression. Here, if is a reserved word and the test expression, it is a valid expression. So, the expression result either true or false, either true or false. Here, true called as a non-zero value, false called as a zero value. Here, if the test expression is true, it executes statements below that expression. Otherwise, it skip that expression. Skip the below statements if it is false. Based on this, the if is classified into four types: simple if statement, if and else statement, nested if else statement, else if ladder. So, first coming to the simple if statement, which is having a form if test expression, then it executes statement block, then it executes statement X. Here, if the test expression result is true, then the statement block executed, then control goes to statement X. Here, statement X is a valid next executable statement in the program. Now, assume the test expression result is false. Then control directly goes to statement X. Here, statement block will be skipped. So, here based on the decision, you are executing statement block if it is true, otherwise you are skipping that, but the statement X commonly executed in both the cases. Next. So, for example, if you consider a program you can consider, so where we write void main, inside, if you are considering if age is greater than or equal to 18, So you are declaring int age as 20. So what you are doing, if age is 20, now you are checking age is greater than or equal to 18. So printf slash n eligible for voting, and you are writing statement x as printf csc. So you can see this example. So if the age value is 20, 20 is greater than 18, greater than or equal to 18, condition is true, then it executes the eligible for voting as well as it prints statement x as csc. Both are printed on the screen. Assume this age is 10. So if age is 10, 10 is greater than or equal to 18, condition become false. Then the statement eligible for voting will be skipped and it only prints statement x, that is csc. That is all about example on simple if. Example on simple if. Hope you understand. So now coming to the if else statement. The if else statement is a extension of simple if statement where we are checking a testy expression. If it is true, it executes true block statements, then control goes to statement x. The else blocks will be skipped. Assume the test expression result is false. Then true block is skipped, only else block is executed. Control goes to else block, then followed by statement x. So if you go for a flow chart, so this test expression you are checking. If it is true means it executes true block statement, then control goes to statement x. If it is false means it executes false block statements, then control goes to statement x. This true block is skipped. So this is all about simple if statement. So for example, if you go for example program on simple if statement, simple if and else statement you can consider. So where you write, so for example, now I am taking void main, I am declaring int n. Okay, printf slash n enter number. Next scanf %d ampersand n. After reading n, what you are doing? So you are checking with if n mod 2 is equal to 0, then you write printf %d is even slash n comma argument is n. Next else printf %d is odd slash n argument is n. Here I am not writing any statement x. The statement x is optional. If you want, you can write, otherwise skip. So now what happens here? This is the program for checking whether the given number is even or odd. Okay, so what I am doing, if n mod 2 is 0, remainder is 0, then it is a even number, otherwise it is a odd number. So any one statement is executed based on the condition. So this is example for simple, example for if and else. Now, so we have some syntactic rules here. First, the test expression what you are writing, it must be enclosed in parentheses. Means if you write expression like this without any parenthesis, example, if A is greater than B, you write something here. So if you write like this, it is error. It must enclosed in parenthesis. That is about this. And no semicolon is needed for if and else statement. Statement 1 and statement 2 may have semicolon required by their types. Means, so a if should not end with semicolon. It is not a error. It is meaning is if with a null statement. If with a null statement, but it is not a error. So only the thing is you should not write after parenthesis, you should not write a semicolon for if, and if must be in a small case letter because all reserved words in C are in small case. And here the expressions can have side effect. The test expression result may leads to side effect. For example, you have operators like logical and logical or. So if you use this, they support short circuit evaluation. Because of that short circuit evaluation, the expression evaluation leads to side effects. And both true and false statements can be any statement, even another if else statement, or they can be a null statement. If it is a single statement, no need to use braces after if. So if you are more than one statement you are executing under if, so it must be a compound statement that must enclose in a open brace and close brace. And both statement 1, statement 2 must be one and only one statement. Remember, the multiple statements can be combined into a compound statement. We can swap the position of statement 1, statement 2 if we use the complement of original expression. You can write a negative logic using this. So third one, if you go for nesting of if-else statement, when a series of decisions are involved, we may have to use a if consists more than one if, that is called nested if. Here you can see if the test condition result is true, then it enter into second one, and it is also true, then it executes statement 1 and control goes to statement X directly. Remaining statement 2 and statement 3 blocks are skipped. Assume first one is true and second one is false. Test condition 2 is false. So here the else part for the test condition 2 is statement 2 will be executed, then control goes to statement X. Remaining statement 1 block and statement 3 block will be skipped. So now assume the test 1 condition itself is false. So it goes to the else part of the if statement. In else part it executes statement 3, then control goes to statement X. So this is a nested if else statement. Here in else part also you may have another if. You may have another if. It depends on the requirement. That is about the nesting of if else statements. So see here, if the first condition is true, it executes condition 2. It is also true, it executes statement 1, then control goes to statement X. So first one is true and second one is false. Control goes to statement 2, execute statement 2, then control goes to statement X. Now assume test condition 1 itself is false. Then it executes statement 3, then control goes to statement X. Okay. So this is a nesting of if else. So you can find nesting of if else using a program. If A is greater than B and if A is greater than C, then printf A is big, else B is big, printf B is big. Okay, so else in here if A is greater than C, so A is big, else C is big. So a if consisting another if, it is example for nested if else. So this is the largest of 3 numbers logic. So where we are using nesting of if else. So now here, while you are using nesting of if else, there is a chance of dangling else problem. Normally while you are writing, so compiler default, compiler pairs else with previously used if, else with previously used if. Sometimes you need to use else for this if. So then you must enclose this in a braces. Then only the if is matched with this else. So if you are not using, then if you are not careful, then dangling else problem will be occur. So last one, fourth one, that is else if ladder. Fourth one is else if ladder, where we are using multiple selection. So here, this is first you check the condition 1. If it is true, it executes statement 1. The control goes to statement X. Remaining conditions and statements are skipped. If the first condition is false, then go for condition 2. It check the condition 2. If it is true, it executes statement 2. Then go to statement X. If it is condition 2 also false, then go to condition 3. It executes statement 3. If it is true, then go to statement X. Like that you can check n number of conditions. Here, if any condition is not true, then the default statement will be executed. After the default statement, you go to statement X. So here, a statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 and statement n, these all are single statements or compound statements. If it is a single statement, no need to use any braces. If it is a compound statement, it must enclosed in braces, pair of braces. And here, this if and else if, these all are reserved words and they must write in a small case only. So that is about else if ladder. See here, if you go for the flow chart, if the condition 1 is true, it executes statement 1, control goes to statement X directly, remaining all conditions and statements are skipped. Assume it is false, condition 1 is false, then it go for condition 2. If condition 2 is true, then it executes statement 2, then it executes statement X, remaining statements are skipped. Assume condition 2 also false, then control goes to condition 3. If it is true, it executes statement 3, then control goes to statement X. Remaining cases are skipped. Like that, it will check n number of conditions. The nth condition is true, it executes statement n and then go to statement X. Assume all the conditions are false. Then it will execute default statement. Then it is go to statement X. This is about else if ladder. So if you go for an example, you can consider. In an example, if you are checking whether the operator is arithmetic operator or not. So assume operator you can consider as OP. Operator is equal to plus. Operator is equal to plus. You are taking operator as character. Okay, if it is plus, printf arithmetic operator. Then else if OP, else if OP double equal to minus, it is also arithmetic operator. Like that you can write for asterisk multiplication slash division modular division, and default statement you write like this, else printf enter correct arithmetic operator. So here, if you are using the variable of character, then it is comparing with the character constant. Character constant must enclose in a small codes. That is about the else if ladder. See here, C supports another kind of multiple selection, multi-way selection. So in addition to two-way selection means if and else. Two-way selection means if and else. So most of the programming languages provide another selection concept that is called as multi-way selection. Multi-way selection having several alternatives. C has two different types of multi-way selections. One is switch, another one is else if ladder. Ladder is already discussed. Coming to the switch statement. So here else if ladder is difficult if number of alternatives are more, and the switch statement used only when the selection condition reduces to integral expression. So what is this integral expression? Means if you write switch and you are checking test expression, the test expression result must be integral. Integral means either integer or character, anyone, integer or character. So these two only applicable on switch. Floating point is not allowed as a test expression result in case of switch case. But in case of else if ladder, you can use any data type for selection. So many times when the selection is based on a range of values, the conditions is not an integral. In this case, we use else if, which we already discussed. So here, if you go for switch, you can write, so switch of expression, test expression or expression. Okay, if expression is character, you can write a cases as case something, you can take plus as a character. Okay, you are performing something like C is A plus B something, and you can print that C. Okay, case minus, you can perform C is A minus B and printf percentage D C. Here what you are doing, you are using a expression as a character. That's why you are writing a character constants here. Character constant must enclosed in single quotes. And here this case are end with colon. That is nothing but labels are ended with colon. Labels are ended with colon. And here you can also write default as a label. Default as a label. And here if you write something in a default statement, okay, so if no case is matched, then default will be executed. Now where should we use this default? You can use anywhere in the switch. You can use as a first statement, you can use as a second statement, you can use as a last statement. Good programming practice is use default at the end of switch. Use of default is also optional. So now you can see this, the syntax where we are using expression, the expression is must be integral, either integer or character. Assume the switch is expression, test expression is integer, then you write integer constants 1 to n, something, they depends on the requirement. And here you write number of statements under this case, Here what happened, if the test expression result is 1, case 1 will be selected, the statements of switch, the statements of case 1 under the case 1 will be executed. After executing the case 1 statements, switch lost the control, it executes statements of case 2, then followed by statements of case 3 and so on statement of n. After that, including default statement, it executes all the statements related to all the remaining labels. because you are not using any break statement here. So a switch use of break is optional. If you are, for example, if case 1 is not match, it won't execute case 1 block statements. Control goes to case 2. Case 2 is match, it execute case 2, then followed by case 3, case 4 up to case n, including default also, it will execute because switch lost the control when it matches the case. So sometimes you need to execute a particular case. After that you comes out of the switch, then we use a break statement. So use of break is optional. So without break, you see this multi-selection. If case 1 is matched, it executes case 1, then it executes remaining statements. Okay, if case 1 is not matched, then it go for case 2. If case 2 is over, it execute remaining statements. If any case is not matched, it will go to default case. So here the control expression follow the keyword switch must be an integral type, and the case labels uses the keyword case and followed by a constant expression. For integer constant they are write directly, for a character constant that must be enclosed in small quotes. So no two case labels have the same constant expression, like you can write case 1 and you should not write another time case 1 here and here, but two case labels can be associated with the same set of section. Means, for example, you can take case plus colon case minus colon case asterisk colon printf arithmetic operators. In this, if any one case is matched, they all three are matching with three are associated with the same statement. If case 1 case is plus, it prints arithmetic operator. If case minus is true, then it will print arithmetic operator. Case asterisk is true, it will print arithmetic operator. That is the meaning of the fourth point. The two case labels can be associated with the same set of actions. The default label is not required, it is optional. If the value of the expression does not match any label, then control transfer to the default switch statement. However, we recommended all switch statements have a default label. It is optional. The switch statement can include most one default label. The default label may be coded anywhere. So, but it is traditionally coded at the last of the switch statement. That is all about that. If you want to execute only one case label sequence, we must use break statement. One more thing, break, use of break. So causes the program to jump out the switch. So to go to the closing braces and continue with the code follow the switch. If we add the break last statement in each case, so it is, if you are writing like this example program, so here if the case is 1, it will print this is case 1. After that switch lost the control, it will also print this is case 2. It also prints this is default when the case value is 1. Assume the switch expression result is true. So first one is skipped, not match. Second one is match. So now what happens? 2 matching with case 2, then it will print this is case 2. After that it lost the control, it prints default, this is default. Assume if the expression result is 4, 4 is not matching with 1, so skip and case 2 is not matching with 4, skip, default, it will print only default case. So no case is matched, this is default. So if you go for diagrammatic representation, the first one, if it prints flag is 1. If the test expression result is 1, it will print this is case 1, this is case 2 and default including. If it is 2, only case 2 will be selected, after that default is also printed. So if the flag is not 1 not 2, that is 4 you can take, so it will directly goes to default case. So this is the output when the switch in this example, when the case values are, flag values are 1, 2 and 4. So now this is all about switch without break. What happens if you use break? Now see, if case 1 is match, what happens? It will print this is case 1. Then you are applying break, control comes out of this switch. Remaining these two cases are skipped. That's why if case is 1, it will print only this is case 1. Remaining cases are skipped because of break. Next, if flag value is 2, so case 1 is not match, then control go to case 2. In case 2, it will print this is case 2. After that break comes out of this switch. So it will print only this is case 2. So if you give the test expression result as 4, then what happens? Case 1 is not match, case 2 is not match, default case, it will print this is default for text expression result is 4. This is all about switch with break. So here, while writing the switch, so the test expression must be integral and switch, case and default. These three are reserved words. They must be in small case and cases must end with colon. And you should not give or you should not apply semicolon after switch. It is error. It is error. Switch should not end with semicolon. Then coming to the break statement, use of break in switch is optional. So if you want to execute a particular case and then you need to come out of the switch, then only you apply break. Break is also reserved word in C. So these are the references we are using. Concept of Programming Languages by Robert W. Sebesta and Computing Fundamentals and C Programming second edition by E. Balaguruswamy, using these references. So we are prepared the slides and you can go for a simple example on switch. So whether you to check the operator is arithmetic operator or not. So what you are writing, wide main. So here you can use char operator. So printf /n enter operator, scanf %c ampersand operator, then switch off operator. Okay, so here you can write case plus colon, case minus colon, case asterisk colon, case slash colon, case mod operator colon, you printf arithmetic operators. So default case printf enter valid operator. So this is end of switch and end of main. In this we are not using any break statement. If the operator is any plus or minus or asterisk or slash or mod, it will print arithmetic operator. So if you type the operator as at the rate is not matching with any one of the operator, then go to default case. In a default case, it prints enter correct operator. So like this, we can perform multiple selection. So selection statements are also known as conditional statements, decision making statements, or control statements. So there are two-way selection, multi-way selection. In two-way selection, you perform if and else using if statement. In multi-way selection, you can perform in two ways. One is else if ladder, another one is switch. If you compare these two, So use of switch is very much easier than else if ladder, but only the difference, main difference is the test expression used in else if ladder, it may be an integer, float, character, any kind of data type you can use as a test expression in a else if ladder, but in case of switch case, the test expression result must be an integral. Integral means either integer or character, and switch won't allow test expression result as a real or floating point type. So this is all about switch and if statement. So last one we have, that is called conditional go to statement. Go to is a unconditional statement. Go to is a unconditional statement, and the go to statement affects readability of the language. See, go to a language success is depends on language evaluation criteria. Language evaluation criteria. The language evaluation criteria having four characteristics. One is readability, readability. The second one is writability, writability. Third one is reliability, reliability, and fourth one is cost. If you use too much go to statement inside the program, so which affects the language evaluation criteria called readability. Readability problem will occur with the too much use of go to statement. You can use go to in two ways. One is called forward go to, another one is backward go to. So if you go for forward go to, forward go to, in a forward go to, so you are writing number of statements, and here right you are using go to some label xy, some label xy, then control jump to the label where xy is there, and here the portion of this will be skipped. So this is called forward go to. Now coming to the backward go to. So backward go to, where you are writing label first, label first, then you are writing go to xy label. So here it goes to xy, means it fall into infinity. Okay, always it goes to xy. So this is very dangerous while you are using backward go to. So if you are using backward go to, so the condition which you are writing go to statement should be under a condition, should be under a condition, then only, if it is true, then only go to back. Otherwise, if you are not writing this if statement, so any condition, it fall into infinity. It fall into infinity. So be careful while you are using backward go to. Backward go to. So in olden days, the languages which are not having loops concept, they are performing iteration or repetition by using go to statement. But too much use of go to creates confusion to the user, and it also affects language evaluation criteria. The readability problem will occur with the too much use of go to statement. That's why better avoid go to statement with the help of negative logic concepts. That is all about conditional or selection or decision making statements. Thank you.